This is the first part of River Ride's second bikepacking trip to Italy. This year we visit Tuscany, starting in Florence, which is in northern Italy. Last year, River Rides visited Naples, Amalfi and Sicily, where I learned how amazingly nice Italian drivers can be to cyclists. Unfortunately, the same wasn't true in Tuscany. Tuscany is almost all hills and mountains. An estimated 65% of Tuscany is comprised of hills, while another 25% is mountainous. I certainly noticed this. The route starts in Florence, however exploring the city is saved until the last video in this series. The Tuscan dialect is the origin of the Italian language, and so I had lots of opportunities to practice Italian. During medieval times, the Florentine florin was the international currency of Europe. The Florentine Cameretta, who were a group of poets, musicians and intellectuals, began experimenting with putting ancient Greek myths into music on stage in the mid-1500s. This eventually became opera. There's no legal drinking age in Tuscany, but a person must be at least 16 years old to be served alcohol in a bar or restaurant. Obviously this doesn't affect me, but the technical director will find it interesting. Tuscany covers an area of about 23,000 square kilometres, 9,000 square miles, which is similar to Wales. Its population of 3.7 million is only slightly higher than Wales, which to an Englishman means there's very few people living there. The name Tuscany comes from the Etruscans, a pre-Roman Empire tribe that settled in the area thousands of years ago. Tuscany is famous globally for its many wines, including Chianti, which is the area we're currently travelling through. Thankfully I didn't see Hannibal Lecter. Tuscan bread, pane toscano, is made without salt. It's unknown why, but one theory is that salt was once highly taxed, so Tuscans decided to bake their bread without salt and kept doing so even when salt became affordable. Florence was the birthplace of Renaissance, the rebirth of culture, art, economics and politics in Europe following the Middle Ages. Due to the excessive number of hills on day one, we covered less distance than planned. The second day we climbed more, but it was over undulating terrain rather than on slopes that lasted for kilometres or miles. To make up for the easier riding, we had torrential rain. I thought I was back in England. The Romans developed Tuscany by extending the existing road network, building aqueducts and many buildings, although a lot have been lost to erosion. The Romans also brought peace to the area. Tuscany is one of the most prosperous agricultural regions in Italy, specialising in cereals, especially wheat, olives and olive oil, plus of course wines, especially in the Chianti area that we're going through now. Tuscan agriculture is characterised by the Mezzo system, with the landlord, who provides capital and current expenses, sharing the harvest with the tenant who supplies the labour. There is, however, a growing tendency to the organisation of agricultural cooperatives. The Val dell'Inferno, or Valley of Hell, inspired the Italian poet, writer and philosopher Dante to write his famous poem Divine Comedy, which he completed in 1321. It describes the soul's travels through hell, purgatory and heaven. To be honest, the only link I could see between hell and this beautiful location was the rain.
Oh,
Arezzo is known as the City of Gold and High Fashion. The city was home to various artists, and Michelangelo came from the surrounding area. Arezzo was an important city as far back as Etruscan times. Over 2,600 years ago, Arezzo was actively trading with Greece, which was a major power at the time. In the 300s, Arezzo became an episcopal seat, with the bishops operating as feudal lords for centuries. In the 1700s, marshes in the area surrounding Arezzo were drained, which increased agriculture and significantly reduced malaria. We finished the day at Badaccia campsite with details given in the description. The weather continued to be bad, which made the food and wine taste even better. The campsite is adjacent to Lago Trasimeno, which is on the border of Umbria and Tuscany. The lake is the fourth largest in Italy, with an area of 128 square kilometres, 49 square miles, meaning it's double the size of San Marino, an independent country within Italy. There are only 2 streams flowing into the river and none leaving. The water depth varies with inflow and extraction by the local population. Thanks for watching the first part of Ribble Ride's bikepacking trip to Tuscany. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, and to make sure you never miss another video, the subscribe and bell buttons. Grazie e buona settimana. La prossima settimana andiamo a Montepulciano.